Sure, the boogeyman white supremacist exists somewhere in America. I've just never met him. Never seen one. Never met one in my life, right? Maybe I'll meet a unicorn sooner.
Seriously, Vivek, have you ever met Republican voters before? Have you ever met the MAGA base? They don't believe that you should be here in the United States of America. I think they've made that pretty clear, and I think Trump previously had made that pretty clear, but now Indian Republican voters have received a rude awakening as they're seeing the MAGA Republican base say the most hateful and racist things about them over this MAGA civil war that has developed between the tech bro MAGA and the original right-wing nationalist MAGA that's been with Donald Trump for all of these years, right? The tech bro MAGA, led by Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, who run that fake government agency called Doge. They've been saying we need more talented engineers from India under H-1B visas to fill these jobs. Right-wing nationalist MAGA said we've been with Trump forever, and Trump says that we don't need immigrants here and that he was going to give us Americans these jobs, to which tech bro MAGA responds and says, y'all are too stupid for these jobs, to which right-wing nationalist MAGA says, you calling us stupid? So that's basically what's going on right now, and Indian Republican voters have now gotten this rude awakening that they're not really welcome in the MAGA base. But Vivek Ramaswamy, you should have known this, like, I don't know, when you did that interview with right-wing nationalist MAGA host Ann Coulter, who said that she wouldn't vote for you because you were an Indian American. Remember when she said that? If not, let me show this to you right here. Let's play it.
I, too, am a fan of yours. I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that.
Or how about right-wing nationalist MAGA people like Nicholas Fuentes, who is a far right-winger, and he says, why would we support J.D. Vance? He's married to an Indian American woman. You remember this, Vivek? Play this clip.
J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity? Like, there's a white genocide going on in the world. White people are being systematically replaced in America and Europe through immigration and to a much lesser extent due to intermarrying. This guy has a non-white wife and a kid named Vivek. This guy is going to be a defender of white identity? I don't think so. This guy's going to defend American identity? If he does, it's going to be no better than any of these other civic nationalists like Vivek Ramaswamy. How else could you countenance American identity if you have a mixed up family like that?
And now we're hearing from this right-wing nationalist MAGA contingent. They're loud about how they feel about Indian Americans. For example, you've got Laura Loomer posting the following. Our country was built by white Europeans, actually, not third world invaders from India. It was white Europeans who created the American dream, and we didn't create it so that it could be exploited by pro-open border techies like you. P.S. Why are people in India still shitting in the water they bathe and drink from? Don't talk to me as an American citizen about innovation when we actually have running water and indoor plumbing here in America. Are you only interested in your invader, supremacist, revisionist history? Or even when J.D. Vance was announced as Donald Trump's VP pick, you had a lot of right-wing MAGA saying, wait, he's married to a brown, and comments like that. Or how about this comment from a MAGA supporter? We took this country from the Indians once, and by God, we can do it again. I mean, this is hateful, racist, ignorant language that should have no place here in American discourse, but that's what we had been hearing from MAGA all along. That was one of the things that we were worrying about. It should be noted the following about the Indian voting bloc here in the United States of America. In 2020, they were overwhelmingly in favor of President Biden. I think maybe Trump got around 20% of the Indian vote. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris still won the Indian vote, but particularly Indian men started moving closer to Donald Trump's position, more like 35, 40%. And Trump grew his support amongst the Indian community by about 10 to 12% in this election. He gained that from the 2020 election, and in a very close election that was important to the coalition that Donald Trump ultimately got to prevail. But you think about the statements that both Trump was making, and even J.D. Vance. Remember, they were mocking Vice President Kamala Harris for being biracial. Is she Indian or is she black? I don't know. Maybe that would have been a red flag right there. Let me just share with you some statements that are being made from some prominent online Indian Americans who have been sharing their thoughts, some Republicans, some Democrat. First, I'll share this one with you, Democrat Neera Tandon. Here's what she goes. She goes, I'm an Indian American who was born here, and it's crystal clear that the Democratic Party sees me as an American, and a large part of the base of the Republican Party does not. I hope Indian Americans remember this moment at the next election. They don't see you as one of them and never will. You thought they just hated the other immigrants, but it turns out there's no exception for you, as many of us have been telling you. And I think for so many in immigrant populations, they thought, oh, wait a minute, Trump just hates the other immigrants, not me. Trump hates this group. I mean, the Cubans would say he just hates the Mexicans, and the Venezuelans would say, no, he's not coming after us. He just doesn't like the Puerto Ricans. And, and all of these groups would justify it. I mean, heck, you even had, Muslim groups that were subject to a Muslim ban during the first Trump administration with all the hateful stuff that he had said about the Muslim community. When it was clear that Donald Trump supported Netanyahu just bulldozing Gaza, they're like, no. Trump said that he was going to be helpful to us. And it's like, are you actually watching his actions, or are you being so easily fooled and deceived when he shows up and gives you some media attention? Is that what's going on here? Let me read for you what this account says. Sid Harth describes himself as an Indian American entrepreneur. He says, I'm deeply questioning my decision to support the Republican Party after witnessing the persistent and dehumanizing attacks directed at me and my community by individuals who, despite hiding behind a veneer of respectability, openly harbor and amplify racist ideologies. I've tried to hold on to the belief that these voices represent a vocal minority, not the broader values of the party. But time and again, I'm disheartened as accounts with massive followings, many of them wielding significant influence, parrot unhinged conspiracy theories and perpetuate overtly racist tropes without consequence. This isn't just about isolated comments or fringe behavior. It's about a pattern that reveals an uncomfortable truth about the party's failure to unequivocally reject bigotry. I just pause right there. It's not a failure to unequivocally reject bigotry. The coalition was forged on welcoming the bigotry, right? I mean, there was the moment, and I'll show you right now, where John McCain, a Republican senator who ran for president in 2008, remember that scene where he took away the microphone from someone in the base who was saying racist things about Barack Obama and saying Barack Obama's this and that? Remember that moment? Because let me show you what that looks like, just to remind you. Play this clip.
I got to ask you a question. I do not I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
Now, if you look at what Trump's been campaigning on, this shouldn't surprise you, Siddharth. I mean, Donald Trump's been saying things like the H-1B program is neither high-skilled nor immigration. These jobs should go to American workers. I remain totally committed to eliminating rampant, widespread H-1B abuse and ending the outrageous practices there. I mean, Trump came out against H-1B all of the time. Trump has parroted these racist tropes at his speeches. I mean, were you not listening to those? And you've got Trump supporters now posting this after finding out he betrayed his campaign promise of ending job outsourcing. You've got Steve Bannon, one of Donald Trump's, OG supporters, posting photos of Vivek and Elon, saying attacking American workers, attacking American culture, attacking American families. And then you have, though, people like Gavin Newsom, Democratic governor of California. He's out there now, though, saying, look, and I hope that Elon Musk and Donald Trump treat the Indian American community well, despite what your base is now saying and the backlash that you are all getting. Gavin Newsom goes, look, Elon Musk is right when he said you need to recruit top talent wherever they may be. The same principle should apply to supporting our farm workers, construction, and trade workers who build and feed our country. Top talent is top talent. And I'll just leave you all with this. This is why President Biden wanted to pass a bipartisan, comprehensive immigration border bill that Republicans killed because Trump told them to, because Trump wanted all of the chaos. The bipartisan border bill and the comprehensive immigration reform that was embedded in that bill would have addressed closing loopholes in H-1B, but bringing over talented Indian Americans to fill jobs, but also promoting American workers in STEM to learn these jobs as well. It also promoted legal pathways for immigrants in other sectors where their jobs are needed and necessary, where there are labor shortages, agriculture, construction, hospitality, and other sectors where immigrants are performing the labor, many off the books and undocumented, who are hardworking people who pay taxes, who should have a pathway if they're working hard. Nobody wants criminals and terrorists here. That's a red herring argument. We want them gone. Criminals, terrorists, see you later. We want a very strong border. Countries should have borders. Absolutely. But also there needs to be common sense solutions to these issues and not this mess that we're seeing right now. So it's interesting, though, that Indian American voters who have started shifting more to Trump based on his promises and feeling that they're part of this base are seeing that the base doesn't want them to be part of that base. Well, tell me what you think in the comments below. Hit subscribe, and let's get to 4 million subscribers. I'd love to hit that 4 million mark soon, so it's free to subscribe. If you can, hit subscribe now. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.